Free skill again, and I'm going to be informing what MPD is or what DID is. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, was formerly called multiple personality disorder. People with DID develop one or more alternate personalities that function with or without awareness of the person's usual personality. DID is one of a group of conditions called dissociative disorders. Dissociative disorders are mental illnesses that involve disruptions or breakdowns of memory. Consciousness, awareness, identity, or participation in mentally functions normally work smoothly. When one or more of these functions is disputed, dissociative symptoms can result. These symptoms can be mild, but they can also be severe to a point where they interfere with the person's general functioning in both personal life and at work. How common is DID? Instances of true DID are very rare. When they can occur at any age from females, or more likely the males, to get DID. What causes DID? A history of trauma is a key feature of dissociative identity disorder. About 90% of cases of DID involve some history of abuse. Now, if Frank does have MPD, how come he's the one that abused his family several years ago and tried attempting murder to his family and his brother and everyone else around him? If he has DID, then wouldn't it be the opposite way around? The family abusing him for him to gain multiple personality disorder? Of the cases of DID involve some history of abuse of the trauma that often results with emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. It might also be linked to accidents, natural disasters, and war, an important early loss such as the loss of a parent or prolonged periods of isolation due to illness. May be a factor in developing DID. Dissociation is often thought as a coping mechanism that a person uses to disconnect from stressful or traumatic situations or to separate traumatic memories from normal awareness. It is a way for a person to break the connection with the outside world and create distance from and awareness of what is occurring. Now, Frank doesn't distance himself from anybody. He attracts people to him, and then bullies them, and then makes impersonation accounts on them, and then bullies them some more. And that's not what DID is, because he's supposed to be distancing himself from people, not bullying and attracting himself to everybody else to increase drama and bullshit anyway. Disorientation can be served as a defense mechanism against the physical and emotional pain of a traumatic or stressful experience. By dissociating painful memories from everyday thought processes, a person can use dissociation to maintain a relatively healthy level of functioning as though the trauma had not occurred. Episodes of DID can be triggered by a variety of real and symbolic traumas, including mild events such as being involved in a minor traffic accident, adult illnesses, or stress. A reminder of childhood abuse from a parent may be when their child reaches the same age as which the parent was abused. What are the symptoms of DID? A person with DID has two or more different and distant personalities of the person's usual core personality, and what are known are alternate personalities or alters. The person may experience amnesia when alter takes control over the person's behavior, which Frank doesn't do, because if he did have mental personality disorder, how come he remembers the stuff that he's done and yet tries to lie and hide it anyway? Each alter has distinct individual traits as personal history and a way of thinking about and relating to his or her surroundings. An alter may be of a different gender and have a different name or a distinct set of manners, preferences, and alter may have different allergies than the core person, which Frank doesn't have, period. The person with DID may or may not be aware of the other personality states and memories of the times of the alter is dominant. Stress or even a reminder of a trauma can trigger a switch of alters. In some cases, the person with DID may benefit from a particular alter. For example, a shy person may use more assertive alter to negotiate a contract. More often, DID creates a chaotic life and problem in personal and work relationships. For example, a woman with DID may repeatedly meet people who seem to know her but whom she doesn't not recognize or remember even meeting. Or she may have find items around the home that she does not remember buying. DID shares many psychological symptoms as those found in other mental disorders, including changing levels of functioning from highly affected to disturbed/disabled severe headaches or pain in other parts of the body. Depersonalization, feeling disconnected from one's own thoughts, feelings, and body. Derealization, feeling that surrounding environments is foreign, odd, and unreal. Depression or mood swings, anxiety, eating and sleeping disturbances, problems with functioning, sexuality. Substance abuse, amnesia, memory loss, or feeling the time distortion. Hallucinations, false perceptions of sensory. Experiences such as hearing voices, self-injurious behaviors such as cutting. Suicide risk, about 70% of what people with DID have attempted suicide. So, If Frank is claiming to have MPD, how come he's not doing more than about, I'm going to say about 90% of the things that is happening here? One, he's not self-harming himself. One, he may have problems with getting laid because every threat that he makes is always sexual or some sort of not safe for work related thing. He may have memory loss, but at the same time, he doesn't have an alter or a person with a different name. He doesn't have any alters. He definitely doesn't have amnesia because he's reminded of the stuff constantly every day. And plus, he also comments on people's content, reminding them of the situation that happened during the past, like with his Disco Ski account that was on Twitter that got removed, that he removed himself, and many other factors that this instantly contradicts what Frank is saying. And the fact that if he says he has MPD and he has like this trauma and all this other stuff, again, it doesn't make any sense because he's the one that's been arrested for trafficking, tried assaulting police officers, tried attempting murdering his own family, drug dealing, and other stuff. And yet, if that was an MPD trait, I'm not believing it because, again, their voice changes, their personality changes, name changes, and their alt changes. So, Frank, I've just called you out twice on the fact that you don't have MPD and you just have schizophrenia and you're just using other mental conditions to make yourself look like that you're the victim child and you deserve all the attention, all the love, all the respect that you don't deserve. This is Chris Gill, and I'm signing out.